What's going on? Episode 7 of Games to Discover. I'm one of your hosts, Chris. And with me, as always, is Mel. Mel, how the heck are you?
Pretty good. Just we're doing today's show on the Friday, so it's a little thrown off. But other than that, not too bad.
Yeah, it changed it up slightly. You were able to accommodate changes in my schedule. Shout out to Mel. So we're gonna talk about, of course we're gonna. Don't worry, folks. We're gonna talk about the best thing we ate all week. It's probably gonna be a buffalo chicken stromboli, but but then we're gonna talk about the game awards because that happened last night. We both watched it. Some of us against our better judgment. Other ones,
Mm,
you know, we watched, and then we did end up playing some games, but we will talk about those at the end as well because there's so many games out there to discover. Um, but first things first. What's the best thing you ate all week, Mel?
I can't actually remember what I ate this week.
Okay, that's a good sign.
So yeah, I know I eat food, so
Oh well, you're
don't
still
be
here.
don't be
Yeah.
too concerned about that. I just can't remember like off the top of my head, but it is like a holiday treat, I guess, kind of.
Mm.
Maybe. A lot of people make fun of this one, but like those tin cans of cookies,
Oh yeah,
like
with like the
like
sprinkles on them or whatever they got
yeah,
on.
it's like the little sprinkles and like
They're like
sometimes they're like in
hard
the shape.
cookies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the hard butter cookies, usually like you see like in TV shows, like movies, like the grandma will keep the case and she'll put like random crap in there, it's like pin cushions, stamps.
Yeah. Or
It's
even
it's
like
like those cookies.
bake their own cookies and then put them in that bin. Like tin. They're gonna be like, I need that tin back though. to get up.
Or you go over to the house and the tin's like on the table and like, oh, help yourself to whatever little treats you want. And then you open the tin and it's like fishing lines, like pennies, like receipts
Yeah.
from like 5 years ago, and it's like,
And
where are
then
the cookies?
yeah, then you grab that one cough drop that's in there. It's a little questionable, but gets the job done.
It's like the butterscotch.
Yeah, the butterscotch. Yeah, exactly.
I like those too.
Yeah, a Werther's original. Um,
Those are very handy,
yeah,
You gotta keep one on you at like all times, basically.
right. Yeah, exactly. Also Friday, happy Friday the 13th, I guess. Um,
Oh, yeah, it is.
yeah. I mean, I
Which,
knew that, and I talked about it with some other people throughout the week. Because it's my friend's
didn't even notice.
birthday today.
Oh,
But
shout outs.
shout out to Cody. But yeah, it's his birthday today, and he was been talking about how it's Friday the 13th, and then we were like, I kept talking about it throughout the week, and then I forgot about it until just now. I was like, oh yeah, it is the Friday the 13th. Even though I thought about it earlier today, my ADHD folks. In terms of the best thing I ate this week, you know, when you got ADHD, sometimes you just fixate on one meal, uh,
Hmm.
and just eat it over and over again. And um, right now, my my dad's meal, for some reason, he's just constantly talking about, and all he can think about is meatballs. Just loves meatballs.
Oh man, that's a good choice.
And so I made some meatballs. I got some like rolls, and then made some like meatball sandwiches. So I made put the meatballs in the pan, cooked them, then I put the sauce in there, tomato and basil sauce, pretty good. Um, and then grabbed the um put like the lid on top of it while after it was done cooking, with the cheese melting on top of it, and so mozzarella, and so then I had that on there, plus then made the sandwiches. It was pretty good. Probably that or the usual. But yeah, there was that. So then yesterday, right, we had the Game Awards. But
Mhm.
leading up to the Game Awards, I ended up getting my PlayStation 5, right?
Oh yeah,
The one that I won on Twitter.
the giveaway. Yeah.
Um and I got the PS5. First thing I did, downloaded um Marvel Rivals. We can talk about that later. But they have like sales going on right now, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, it's been a while since I had a PlayStation." So I was like, maybe I'll get PlayStation Plus. And then I was like, hmm. And then I was looking at like the deals that they have, the Game Award promotion deals that they have. The one thing that annoys me about these deals, they're like, oh, 25% off. But they're giving you 25% off like the $100 version, and the regular standard version is regular price. So you're basically getting the deluxe edition or whatever for like the price of the standard version, when I'd much rather have 25% off the standard version price. But anyway,
Yeah, because sometimes that extra stuff is just not needed. You know.
yeah, it's usually like cosmetics and things, but there were a couple of games that I almost got from the deal, including Unicorn Overlord. Shout out to it.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I almost got that, and um, then PlayStation Plus. I was going to get it because so I have the Switch version of the Plucky Squire,
Mhm.
and the devs released a streamlined mode, which is basically just gets rid of all the fluff, and then you don't have to worry like if because the main game, the game itself, just standard version, kind of almost treats you like you're a child, like a kid playing the game, like like they made it for kids to play,
Yeah.
and or kids could enjoy it, but then everyone else that's playing it, or at least me, um, just bored out of my mind.
No,
It just a slow start.
it's a very slow start, and I do get the concept because it's like a storybook thing,
Yeah,
and the art style is obviously like catered to kids more. But like even as a kid, I think that would get on my nerves because it just feels slightly insulting.
exactly. Yeah, I agree. But anyway, so I was gonna go get it. I was like, you know what? It's on PlayStation Plus. I can play Dave the Diver on PlayStation. Even though I have it on Switch and Steam. I was like, you know what?
You're just everywhere with that game, huh?
Yeah, I got it quite a few places. And so I was like, okay, I can do that. And then I was like, well, first let me look, because if it's not out yet, I'll wait and get I'll try the streamlined version, because the performance wasn't very good on the Switch. And so I was like, I don't really want to play on the Switch anymore. So I was like, ooh. But I also don't want to buy the game again, at least not, it's normally 30. Right now it's like $22. I was like,
Yeah,
I could just
it's still kind of much.
get a month for $15 of PlayStation Plus and then play whatever games are on there. And so, although I got so many other games to play right now, I don't know that I even need to do that. I just was interested to check out the streamlined version.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. And then I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and go back to that. And then I was like, well, let me see what sort of fun and exciting things are announced at the Game Awards. Maybe something will be like out now and I can go and play that. Uh, Wishful thinking, I know.
Well, yeah, well, a lot of those out now things.
I love a good out now. And yeah, so they didn't have that. But well, I guess the closest thing they had was like new content for Helldivers 2, right?
Yeah,
Eh,
I think that was like immediately after
yeah, it
the
was.
PlayStation.
It came out, yeah, last night. But yeah, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll check that out. And then I was like, I did not load it up, so I didn't check it out yet. But anyway, but there was quite a bit that was announced. I mean, uh, I guess we can just, um, if you haven't seen the Game Awards, we're going to be talking about it. So if you don't want to know, I only say that
Yep.
because it was last night. So I know sometimes people will listen to the show before they like dive into whatever they're gonna play.
Yeah,
Uh,
and sometimes like some of these shows are like really late in some of these other countries.
yeah, right. I mean, it even goes real late, even in the United States. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was quite a bit. What did you think of the announcements? Was there any announcements that stood out to you in terms of ones that you really liked?
So for typically for like this award show thing, it doesn't really cater to the games I particularly care about for like announcements and such. Every now and then, like something I really like will get like nominated in, like one category. Like in this case, like Unicorn Overlord got nominated, like it won and didn't even win.
Which game?
Unicorn Overlord.
Oh,
It
right,
was
yeah.
like a best strategy, but like it lost to like Frostpunk 2, which expected. That's
Mm.
also a really good game. But for the announcement segment, I had to wait until I don't know, like almost like 3 hours and a half into the the show to get like the one I was really hyped about, and that was the Okami sequel announcement because I'm a big fan of Okami.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the guy back for this one because
Oh,
he's
Kamiya.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like reconstruction like the team for it. It's not gonna have like everybody from the original team, but like Clover's, which is I guess the new birth of Clover Studio. They just added an S basically.
Yeah. So
That's
you
like
went Clover. When Clover shut down, they started Platinum, and
yeah,
then
and then he left Platinum last year,
yeah.
like last October.
I mean, I
So
guess he really desperately wanted to make um another Okami. Apparently,
well, yeah, because I
uh,
mean, that guy is
it's his
like
baby.
always on Twitter. And he would put up these posts like every now and then, and Okami was like always like the number one choice, and then he had like Beautiful Joe after. But like a lot of the stuff he works on is like not owned by like him or his company. It's always tied to like another company, so they have to get like permission to even use it. So they are working with Capcom a little bit for this game, and it was like what, like maybe 2 minutes total, for which quote unquote we solved this thing
Right.
because
Yeah.
they started with like the drum, and then it went to like a black screen kind of, and like the art kind of formed this wolf, and the wolf was just running, and like you couldn't even tell it was it was Amy for like until like near the end when you see like the shield and the fire and then the flowers after she's like running because like when she runs the flowers start to bloom and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's just the fact that it's announced because it's not like really like a game yet. It's just like this is like pre-production type of thing. It's like they met at a meeting, wrote on a napkin, it's like Okami 2, yes,
Yeah.
and they
Well.
kind of just like put this out just a little teaser because we don't even know if it's gonna look like this
Oh
because it
yeah.
doesn't really look exactly like the first game, But
Mm-hmm.
uh, it would be lying to say that wasn't my announcement of the Knights.
Yeah. Plus, not only that, but it seemed like, they should put this out, and he's still building his studio, Clovers, and the I imagine just showing this and putting it out there this early is so that people are like, "Oh, you are making that," and then try and recruit more people that he wants to be like,
Yeah,
"Yes, I can finally talk about the fact that I'm making this."
because
Um,
like they have a page up for like their website, and I think it's like 17 people right now, so that's not like a lot of people to be making a
right.
game of like this caliber. Because the first game, it's pretty big for what it is, and when you're playing it, it feels like it should end like 2 or 3 different times, but it just keeps on going. But like it's a good keep on going type of thing. It's not like please end me, It's like oh, it's just more comedy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, so that was your favorite, Okami.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
My favorite was probably your least favorite. Um,
So
uh,
the game after this, because like when he announced the comic, he was like, "This is like the last announcement of the show,"
right,
and then
yeah.
there was like actual another announcement after.
And
So
then he
it was
came and was
good.
like, it's the 10th anniversary, so we actually have one more thing. And then they proceeded to show a trailer set in space. And I pretty much knew instantly that it was the new Naughty Dog game because it just looks like a Naughty Dog game. And I was right. It's Intergalactic, the Heretic, the Heretic Prophet.
Yeah. Okay.
You
I'm not feeling the intergalactic name, to be honest.
don't like the name
I don't
Intergalactic?
I don't like it. I think the Heretic Prophet it sounds a lot better as like the actual name, but
Yeah,
I guess we'll see like in 4 years when this comes out.
yeah. I mean, Intergalactic, Uncharted. It's kind of like uh, they just have random names and then some subtitle. So yeah, I mean, they're already calling it a franchise. They're planning multiple games in this series. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I thought it looked good. And then when they showed like, hmm, I don't want to say gameplay, but they showed the like a fight scene with
Yeah.
you had like an electric sword looking thing. I thought that looked pretty good. The music by Trent Reznor, soundtrack that they're gonna have. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, some of my favorite games are like the Naughty Dog games, like even back on the PlayStation with Crash Bandicoot 1, and then like Jak and Daxter on PS2. And yeah, I really like all of those games. Anything Naughty Dog, I will play it.
Are you gonna get the Adidas shoes to feel in the mode? Because that was the product placement of like Adidas was like
Oh yeah, they had the Adidas shoes, the
just
Porsche, yeah, Galactic
yeah,
car,
yeah. I mean that looked kind of cool with the car, I think.
yeah.
But I was more interested when it was showing like the little TV screen and it had like that little anime stuff on. I was like, oh, cool, this is kind of interesting because like uh Neo, I think, is the head honcho of this one. I think he said he took inspiration from like 80s anime and Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
But then like when they showed like the actual like characters and like the actual gameplay or quote unquote gameplay, I guess the fight scene, I was just like, I am not feeling this. This is too much space stuff. I don't know. She just doesn't look like someone I want to be, you know?
Hmm. Um. Yeah.
But it might be one of those things where like the story unfolds and you learn more about, her. And she might be kind of interesting and cool then. It's just like right now, I'm not feeling this. And I was like super hyped with the previous announcement too, so I don't think that helped either.
Oh yeah. So you were coming down from the high from.
I was high, I mean, I was already enjoying myself with the Muppets, every now and then little Muppets will come make little jokes, because I know I said this before to you, but like I always feel like we're those Muppets, when we
Oh
watch
yeah,
stuff.
the two old.
Yeah, the two old guys. I feel like we're those guys because they brag on stuff, but they're not like mean spirited about it. They might seem mean jokes, but it's not like done like with the hateful
Malice.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not done like that. It's just like little fun because I feel like we do that for all these shows we watch.
Right. Yeah. 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 I hear you there. We do that where we'll be like, that does not look good. I don't know about that one. But there was quite a few things that I thought looked pretty good, like the Ninja Gaiden could be good. That comes out next year. Um, that
Oh,
ran.
that's also like one of the few games with like an actual release date because a lot of these announcements, it's like cool, but it's like we're not seeing this till like 4, 6, 8 years from now because like Even with the Okami announcement, I'm like, if I'm lucky to see this for 40, I'll be happy. But like, even I can see it like hitting after I'm 40, you know. So it's just
Yeah.
like it's fun, but you gotta keep your times management expectations, I guess.
Oh yeah. Like Intergalactic, they said they started it. There's about 240 people have been working on it since 2020, and that's so it's been 4 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna take another three before it comes out.
Yeah, because a lot of these games now they're just so big and massive, so it takes just a while for them to pop them out, and then you gotta hope nothing goes wrong,
Yeah.
while they're
Yeah.
making it.
Okami, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 2023 or 2030. I mean,
I'm gonna guess 2029. That's what I'm guessing,
yeah.
honestly.
I could see like earliest 2028, late, and then 2030.
I mean,
Um,
I'd be happy to be proven wrong. It's just
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna make it in like 3 or 4 years, honestly.
Especially if he's still building up the team and they got to start it. I guess it depends how quickly they find what the game is, what they want to do. Um,
Because I know he has like ideas for it. It's just like after so long, he probably had like 3 or 4 drafts of just like different ways to go about the sequel. So,
right.
and that's not even putting into factor of like if there's gonna be like a new major way to play it, like new gameplay mechanic or something.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know. We don't. We
Yeah,
just
we
we
have
just
no
saw the
idea.
warning.
Yeah. Yeah, we always saw that. What? Yeah, 2 minute trailer, 1.5 minute, whatever it was. But some of the games that I did think looked pretty good. Like I said, the Ninja Gaiden game, that rematch kind of soccer game, kind of
Oh, from the Shimpi
um,
people? Yeah, I think that looks pretty fun.
yeah, Slow Clap, I think is their name. Yeah,
Yeah, Sloppy.
Sifu. I thought it was going to be more Sifu related because it was the developer. Because the Sifu account retweeted it, but I realized, oh, you know what? The Sifu account probably retweeted Slow Clap's account about an announcement at the Game Awards because Slow Clap has like 25,000 followers and the Sifu account has like 55 or something. So they
Yeah.
wanted to just get it out in front of more people. Um,
I thought it was just gonna be like the Amazon Prime show reminder, because I think this week was the Shifu episode. I think it's already out, but
oh yeah. Yeah, the Sifu. So that Next Level show on Amazon Prime, I ended up watching, I guess like 8 episodes came out this week. I watched them and well, no, I didn't. I didn't watch all of them. I watched three. I watched the first episode, which was like Dungeons and Dragons, which was pretty good. It was like maybe 12 minutes. And then
yeah, they're not that long.
the Sifu one, I watched that. That was pretty good. Um, and then I watched the the Pac-Man episode.
That's the one I was the most excited for, and then I saw little clips, sneak peeks,
Yeah.
I guess teasers online. What it was looking like, and I was like, and what do you know? That was actually a game last night in the pre-show.
Yeah. Shadow Labyrinth, the which is based on that show. Um, and watching the show for like watching the episode first and then seeing that trailer, uh, I I was like watching it the show with some people and I was like, oh, that's Pac-Man, and they were like, that's not Pac. That doesn't look anything like Pac-Man. It's like a 2D maybe Metroidvania type game,
Mhm.
and it just
It's like very dark. Like the main character design. It's not Pac-Man. It's like I want to say like almost like rustic, robotic-y,
yeah,
like mechanic. I guess it looks grim, depressing.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I I d- I don't know that I have any interest in playing that game, but we'll see what happens.
I,
Um,
okay, I'm pretty upset about that because I'm a big Pac-Man person. But I think there's maybe some maybe a little copium in me. But there may be some cool things they could do with this because I did see like they did look like they had like a 2D maze of Pac-Man at one point, and he was
yeah.
like attacking the enemies because it seems like Pac-Man is not like the main character. It seems like he's kind of like what's the best way to describe
Oh, it's
this?
kind
He's
of
kind of
like
like
you know, in like Destiny when they have like the ghost that flies around with you and talks to you the whole time. That
yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
like
like an orb that, or like a fairy that follows you around. That is Pac-Man. Although in that short in from the next level or whatever, um, it's Pac-Man. It's voiced by a woman. Like it's a woman who is walking you through and talking the main character of this short through the whole experience. So I don't know if the same thing's going to happen there, but of course, I don't think what Namco probably still doesn't own the rights to Miss Pac-Man.
probably not, and
What a
you know.
weird thing. But anyway, yeah,
It seems like you do have some kind of semi control over Pac-Man, I guess, because like there's like one part near the end where he just kind of like chomps like this enemy, just kind of eats them. But like it's not like in the Pac-Man usual. It's like in this big
mm-hmm,
like snake-like, I guess, maybe eagle. I don't know. Still upset about it, but I'm not gonna totally write it off because it does seem like it's gonna be one of these little smaller games. You know, 'cause I think I saw the price going for 30 already, and it should be hitting all the systems. So maybe if it goes like on a good enough sale, I may try it. But
yeah. That's
that's
one of
one,
those ones I might wait for reviews.
yeah, because maybe, but that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting anything but that, I guess, because I saw people joke about it before the show started. It's like, oh, we're gonna get like this a game off that show, and because when I saw the teasers for the show, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what is this? Because like every now and then we have like this mascot that goes through like radical change, and you just like, what are these people smoking that like have the rights to this? Because like years ago, like it happened to Bomberman, like on the Xbox. There was like that
Oh
gritty.
yeah, futuristic Bomberman X or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? Like, that's not why people are playing like Bomberman, and that's not gonna get like more people to play it. So I feel like Pac-Man's kind of doing the same thing in a sense for that. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's that Pac-Man game. Um, there is the game from Team Ico, who I know. Um, it's going to be like an Epic Game exclusive. Uh, they're
Yeah, that's something.
they're no longer working with Sony. I mean, it still might come to PlayStation because last time Epic published a game, which was Alan Wake 2, that came to Xbox and PlayStation, and then was exclusive to Epic Game Store. But it's still untitled, probably looking at,
You know,
2035,
that team does take a while, even before like this
yeah,
generation. They
The
just always took
Last
a while making
Guardian
this stuff.
took
You know,
forever.
yeah, that was like 8 or 9 years just for that, and
Everyone thought it
I
was
didn't even like that.
canceled, and then they were like, no, it's coming out in 20.
I thought it should have been canceled. I thought maybe they should have just moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. I really love Shadow of the Colossus, but there are other games I just cannot stand. I tried them multiple times, and I
T-
just find them cumbersome and like tedious to play. And I
oh,
guess I don't like the main concept for each of those games. But
Ico and the Last Guardian.
last one, yeah, I couldn't get into them because I tried Ico when it first came out because it was getting a lot of praise, getting a lot of eyes seen on it. And I was like, nah, this is not for me. But that was like when I was much younger. So I waited until like the PS3 bundle pack with that and Shadow Colossus. I was like, I'm gonna try it again. Maybe my taste changed, and then I played more and more of it, and I was like, I think I hate this even more now.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah. Mm.
I'm willing to wait, see, because like the teaser we had was like this guy. He has like a helmet. It's like a spacey kind of thing, but he was like on the ground, like in a desert, and he was climbing up like this little mini tower thing, and it had like a head of a robot, and it seemed like there was this ambush wave of enemies coming to the robot's head, and like the guy got into the head and like detached itself, and just kind of went into the air. You just saw a whole bunch of like destruction or whatever. So that doesn't really tell me much because like
Yeah.
what do I get from that? From my first
Yeah.
guess, it's like maybe you're just like in this spacey like futuristic Mad Max kind of world where it's like everything's like kind of destroyed and the very few things still kicking around. It's like they're just constantly being attacked by these waves of enemies. So I'm wondering if this is maybe partially tower defense, because you know me, I hate those.
Yeah, I
So
was
if
gonna
it's
say
not,
that would be your worst nightmare, the tower
I,
defense game.
oh my god, I'd rather play the first person games. They making me sick. I don't like the
Especially
look.
if you're going around and salvaging body parts and like so they have crafting in it too,
Oh, yeah,
just all your favorite stuff.
I didn't get that. Oh my god, it probably is crafting because you probably have to school like probably have to zoom around
You
finding like
need that
parts like
head from,
brigade.
put it on a working body, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know. We're just guessing because
Right.
again,
It
this
could
is
be
like 3
anything.
minutes.
It could be
Yeah.
you just climbing, taking that head and then just jumping out of it, using it to get up to another platform and then never seeing it again. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I guess
This
we'll
is a
find out,
possibility.
you know.
Yeah.
I know, what was it? Last Guardian started development in like um 2007. Um Shadow of the Colossus came out in 2005, and then um The Last Guardian didn't come out until 2016.
Oh, that's even longer than I thought it was. That's almost 10 years.
Yeah, so I don't even know they're what they're up to, you know?
Yeah, because we don't even know how big this team is anymore either. Because they got booted from Sony, so they probably lost some of their workers,
Yeah.
various places and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. Okay, so they revealed that the studio that Gen Design is the new studio because it was like with just Team Ico over at Sony Computer Entertainment. He left around mid 2014, but stayed to with Sony to finish the game, The Last Guardian. Um,
Yeah.
and then in 2020, Epic announced that it would fully fund the development of their next game. So in 2021, the new game was teased in the New Year New Year postcards. But yeah, so and then it was just revealed as currently untitled. But Project Robot appears to be the working title. Who knows? Yeah, that's going to be exclusive to Epic, and they will, of course, also be bringing it to consoles because they're not gonna not do that.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
But yeah, so that was there. There was quite a few games at the show that they ended up showing off. But I think you might have said it before we started. So many of these games like don't have dates. There's who knows how far away are. A lot of them, like even on Steam, just all say coming soon. Um,
Because they started off like the main show with like The Witcher 4, and that was like what, like 6, 8 minutes of like this long like CGI cutscene.
yeah,
Like that's not coming out anytime soon. I'm sure. I guess a good amount of the fans of that series so happy. I mean, I'm not too into the Witcher stuff, but I did see some stuff online, not not dealing with the main character, but from my understanding, she's in like at least three, so she's like,
Yeah.
not like a brand new person or anything. So she
Yennefer,
should be
I think
like,
is her name. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean that's a strong start to a show like this, but you gotta wait for that. That's not anytime soon.
Yeah, that's probably at least 4 or 5 years away too. You know? But we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot going on at the Game Awards. Astrobot won Game of the Year.
I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I mean, I'm not against it. It's just because this is like the first year where it's like I didn't play any of the nominations for Game of the Year. It wasn't intentional. It's just I haven't got around to him yet. Because like Astrobot is like one of the ones I would play. It just I don't know. It doesn't scream like Game of the Year to me. It screams like I would enjoy myself like over the weekend. I would like collecting all the Astrobots and because I saw a nice chunk of this game, and it seems like it retreads a lot of stuff I've seen before in other platformers. And I'm a big platformer person, but I don't feel like I'm like in need of like I'm not like worried about like the health of platformers. I guess you can say. I feel like we've been getting a lot of solid ones over the past couple of years, and even into the future. So I mean, I guess it's nice it won, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't scream Game of the Year to me.
Hmm. Astrobot. Shout out to it. In
And now it's like it's not gonna go on sale now either since it won. It's always gonna be like $50 minimum.
right, yeah. It's gonna just be more expensive now. Game of
Yeah.
the Year, they can put that on the box.
Oh, they have like I saw somebody found like I think it's a Funko Pop, and like there's like an Astrobot version with like Game of the Year sticker now, and I think it's like a different color or something. I think you maybe pre-order it pretty soon. So if you're into that kind of stuff, get your Game of the Year Astrobot Funko Pop,
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
next weekend.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I clicked on it and I was like, you know what? When does this come out? And it's like the end of May. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so that'll be out in like June. Um, but yeah, Astrobot. I don't
I
know.
was, I was personally hoping for Bellagio, personally. That's what I was hoping
Mm,
for.
you were hoping for Belatro? Yeah,
Yeah, I was hoping for that. Because
I,
I haven't played it yet either, but next time I get Apple Arcade, that's the first time downloading.
yeah. Although it did win 3 Game Awards.
That's still really good. It won indie. It won like the best Fumio game, I think.
Debut indie, yeah.
Debut indie, and what was the last one it won?
Mobile game, I think.
Oh
Best
yeah,
mobile
mobile
game.
game. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that makes sense, I guess. Um, but yeah, I mean it ended up winning quite a bit, and then Metaphor won quite a bit.
It won narrative and RPG. Yeah,
And
RPG.
like art direction or something like that, whatever it was, style or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. It did win three. I thought it won. I thought it won two. Yeah, that's pretty good for a new series from Atlas.
Even
You know.
though Unicorn Overlord didn't win anything, sadly.
Well, it was only
Um,
nominated in one category, and it was against Frostpunk 2, which I had a feeling that was gonna win, cause like that whole category was pretty solid, honestly. But
yeah, and I know
if I
people were really
voted,
looking forward to um Frostpunk 2. I mean, every time I played Frostpunk 2, my people would die before the first winter. I could not get it past the first winter because they just kept dying. I played it like 6 times and they all would just die. I'd be like, I'm going to get it this time. I'd get sidetracked and then I'd be like, winter's coming, and then everyone would die.
and that's it.
Yeah, don't put me in charge of winter Wonderland or whatever it is. Definitely not
Yeah.
Winter Wonderland. But yeah, the there was quite a bit there at the Game Awards in terms of what they showed, and then the winners. Um, the I mean, I guess what was it? I didn't even look. I think GTA. I don't even know. I don't remember because like some of those awards they just gave out quick as could
Oh
be.
man,
But like
yeah.
they would be like, here's 6 awards, and then just like announce them all real quick. So I don't even know what one mostly anticipated, but I'm going to say it was
No,
GTA
it was
6.
GTA. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was GTA. Come on. I don't even know why they even have that category. Because
yeah,
GTA is just one of those franchises where it's like, even like the hardcore nerds, like us,
yeah,
we'll still like try it out and play it. But like the casual people, this is like their game.
yeah.
This is like all they do. And especially with GTA 5, it's like it's so old now to where you have like people who played it like in middle school or like graduating college now. So they're dying for six because they didn't have a new game. It
Right.
wasn't like us. We got like two, uh, San Andreas and four. We got like these other ones semi, at a good pace, every
Chinatown
year or two.
Wars.
I love Chinatown Wars. That's like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that was good.
I put so many hours on that.
It was
Not
like
even joking.
it was like a 3 month DS exclusive before it came to
Yeah,
PSP.
yeah, it was so funny. They made such a big deal, and then it came to the mobile too.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
That was like one of the first like big mobile games. We actually had to pay like more
they're
than
like yeah,
like what $4 $3.
GTA's coming to mobile. GTA Chinatown Wars. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do not like the GTA games, but GTA. It's kind of like back in the day. Growing up, I would always get the new Madden football game, even though I didn't like it, just because it'd be like, this game signifies like the start of like all the holiday releases, and so
Yeah, 'cause-
it would
yeah,
be like the big game, the first big game of the holiday season, back before companies just release games all year long rather than just in the holiday season, and um now I remember I would get it, and then every year I'd get it and be like an hour into playing it, and I'd be like, "Oh, why did I get this game?" And then but I would do that. I did that for like 4 years before I finally was like, "I don't like Madden football. I'm just not gonna get it." Um, and so the same thing happens with GTA. I get GTA every time. I don't like the shooting. I don't think I like the driving very much. I don't like the animations. I just don't like the way it just there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of talking, and there's a lot of missions where you got to do like slow driving or walking while you're like, I don't like walk and talks. I don't like it where they're just talking a
oh my
bunch to
god,
you while
walking
you're
tall.
playing. Yeah. Uh
How do you survive like 90% of the releases now? Because that's a lot of walk and talk still, you know?
yeah.
Because I I think I would like the GTA games more if I played like three and up first. My
Mm,
first one was two, so it's that top-down action
yeah.
stuff that
You playing
I'm
on
going for.
PS1?
Yeah, my cousin had it.
Shout out to your
He
cousin.
had, well, okay, he had
Okay,
like the
maybe not.
burn. He had like the burn PS1, so like he had a bunch of games. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
it
Never
was one
mind.
of
I
those
take
things.
back the shout out to your cousin. take take
But
back to your pirate cousin. Um, yeah. So you played
but that's what I was
GTA 2
able to
first?
decide. Yeah, I played GTA 2 first, so whenever I think of Grand Theft Auto, it's stuff like that. But they don't make it like that anymore. That's why I was so into Chinatown Wars, and then like every once in a blue moon we'll get something like Retro City Rampage or like Hawaii Shakedown because I was really into Hawaii Shakedown when that
Oh
came out
yeah.
a couple years ago. But I know this is going to be a major game. I don't even know that why they even bother listing that award. That was the GTA award,
Right. Yeah.
this year.
And I mean, it might be the GTA award again next year when it gets delayed into 2026.
Because they're already talking about like a possible fall release. It was supposed to be spring, now it's fall, and I can see it being booted because this thing has to be massive. Because when it comes out, it's not gonna have like everything five does, obviously, but it has to have enough.
Yeah.
And the map looks huge,
And if it's
supposedly.
anything like GTA 5, the multiplayer launched later, so it'll be like the story and then the multiplayer. We'll see
Which
what
is
happens.
most people get it anyway. They get it from the multiplayer stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure people get it anyway, just to be like, it's GTA. It's going to be the best-selling game of whatever year it comes out. But
Possibly all the time.
yeah, and for the next 20 years after that, yeah. Even my like son is constantly asking me to play GTA. He's like, "Can I play GTA?" No. And then he asks his mother when he's at his mother's house. He's like, "Can I play GTA?"
Well, he's definitely not
And
gonna want to play that.
he 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 played it, and then he forgot that I could see what he's playing, and it like I have notifications on for him and Dashel. So like when Dash signs
Mm.
on the Steam, I could see what he's playing, and then Flynn when he signs on the Xbox at his mom's house, I could see what he's playing, and it was like GTA, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And I called him, and he's like, "Mother said I can play it." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me! There's no way." I said, "If I call your mother right now and ask her, and she's gonna say that she said you could play it." Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Give her. I'll go get her on the phone right now. I was like, he must be calling my bluff because he thinks I'm just gonna say, "Oh, okay, well then just go ahead and play it." But yeah,
Yeah, that's what he's waiting for, you know? Because that's something I would do as a kid.
yeah.
But
I was like, you know what? Maybe. But yeah. So then he ended up playing it, and then yeah, I ended up talking to his mother, and she's like, Chris, it is the only thing he talks to me about wanting to play that game. And then he wanted to play it, but then he was like, this isn't it. This isn't the game for me. Because his mother would hear the gun shooting
hmm
and be like, why is there so much shooting? What are you doing? You're killing everyone. And so she made him stop playing, or gave him a hard time about playing it, to the point where he was like, she'd like be like, find something else to play. So then he did. He found something else to play. He found Red Dead Redemption 2. And so I
I
guess
guess
he's,
it's an improvement,
yeah,
kind of.
he's running around, riding around on the horse. He's like, there's like no Uzis. It might just be like a one shot thing, you know.
Yeah.
And there's
And
like
it
enough,
takes longer to get there, you know?
yeah, there's enough animals around. Every time he's shooting, he's like, I just tell her I'm hunting something. I was like, what? What are you telling me this for?
Hunting people,
Yeah,
animals, same thing, you
just
know, no big deal.
yeah, I'm just hunting something. Sir, please. But at the same time, I was like, he's 12, and I was his age when I was playing like GTA 3. Um, maybe not. I was probably, I was young when I played like GTA 3 and all those games, Resident Evil. But of course,
Oh,
Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 is a little different than Resident Evil 2
like now,
remake on, yeah.
yeah. Because, like, that was the argument I had to play when I played Mortal Kombat as a kid. Because my mom was like very anti, ultra realistic violence, and I remember playing that on my cousin's Sega, the Genesis, and
Same cousin,
she was yeah same cousin because he had the Genesis and he had the PlayStation. I had
bootlegs
all the
Genesis
Nintendo
too.
stuff. So well I had my own Genesis after a certain point, but I would
Uh,
get the Nintendo stuff, you get the Sony stuff. So we would have like we were able to play a bunch of stuff. But
yeah.
anyway, um, when we played Mortal Kombat, I thought my mom was gonna give me like a big, talking to, big make a big deal out of it. But she was like, I know what they're going for with this, but it kind of just looks like you're stepping on ketchup packets when the blood is shooting out
Right.
of these guys. So she's
There's
like,
like
this is fine.
there's like so much blood that it's like just unrealistic.
But like, if we had like Mortal Kombat now, there was no way I could play that as a kid. So it
Oh
was like
yeah.
very pick and choosy with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get away with some stuff, but not like everything. Because like my dad, he would play like the Resident Evil ones, and she would like, you can't watch these. I was like, really? I can't watch this? And then of course, like I snuck in one time, and he was like You know, like the famous part with the hallway and the dogs like jumping out,
Yeah.
attacking you. But of course, I saw that one. You know, that traumatized me a little bit for like a week or two because I'm a big dog person. So
Yeah, big dog lover, and the dog's like,
yeah, just you know. But
yeah, but
it's just, that's what you had to deal with. You know.
mm-hmm. But yeah,
Now we can play whatever we want. You know. It's like I don't even know if I want to play stuff like this, but we did have some more little games shown at this thing because I'm looking at the list right now. There's actually like a lot. I forgot some of this stuff because like I forgot like Turok was shown, like a new Turok game. You know, Hunting the Dinosaurs. I mean, I like
Yeah,
the
it looked like
NCT
almost like a three-player, multi, like there was like three-player co-op, and it was third person too. On top of that,
I
um,
know. Shout outs to third person stuff. Thank you.
yeah, right. They got your memo.
They did.
And then not only that, but it's by so I guess Disney owned Turok at one point, and then I think they sold it with something else. They got rid of it. I think it had to do when they shut down like Disney Interactive. I think like Universal or someone bought them, and so they got the rights to it, Turok with it. And Saber Interactive is developing and publishing it. Saber Interactive, um, they do quite a bit of stuff. They they do all sorts of random, games and things. Like they did like the Snow Runners, Mud Runners.
Oh yeah, they did those.
But then they also did like I think it was like Time Shift maybe. And
Uh, maybe yeah.
yeah, and they did Inverse. They like helped with like some of the Halo 3 multiplayer maps and stuff. But then they also did they're working on that Jurassic Park survival game.
That's what I thought this was at first. I thought it was gonna be Jurassic Park stuff, and
Hmm.
then they showed the guns, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was like, is this some
what's
sort
up?
of weird futuristic Jurassic Park game? But then, yeah, no, it's Turok Origins. Um,
Because I like dinosaur stuff. It's just we don't really get a lot of dinosaur stuff anymore. You know, and when we do, it's like wannabe Turok or like wannabe Dino Crisis. You know, because remember like 2 years ago when like that what was that Capcom game that came out last year? Exoprimal, whatever.
yeah,
Like,
Exoprimal.
yeah, like, everyone thought that was gonna be like Dino Crisis, and when they showed it off, like the full reveal, it's like, oh, well, whatever, I
I
guess.
know.
You know?
Got so nervous or so excited for a minute. I was like, "Oh, Dino Crisis," and no, it was just dinosaur adjacent game.
Yeah. But we did get like another revival from Capcom this show.
Yeah, that's
The
true. We got
how do you say this?
Onimusha.
Onimusha. Yeah, I played I think like the first one like way back in the day. I never really continued playing these, but I mean it looked pretty decent enough last night. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think it looked
Yeah,
decent.
it looked less like the original, because the original was kind of like uh Devil May Cry like,
Oh
but
yeah.
set in Japan, and then they this one looks almost more like Sekiro, like just not quite Souls like, but closer to that than fast-paced action game. But I mean, it would make sense, I guess, if that was that. But that this game has a 2026 date.
I know. So that's something at least, you know?
Yeah, but that would make sense if because the rumor is next year might be next year. We got the beginning of the year we have um Monster Hunter Wilds from them, right?
Yeah.
And then if that game's in 2026, the next Resident Evil would either be 2027 or the end of 2025. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those two probably, you know?
Yeah.
We'll probably see it soon-ish. That's a big asterisk mark right there, you know? Because, you know, we probably have to wait until like whatever the wannabe E3 announcements for that nonsense.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Summer Game Pass, what you want to call it.
Um,
I still don't like that replacement, but give him like 10 years, maybe Jeff can make a decent show of that. Because he
eh,
did pretty decent last night, all things.
yeah, quite a bit there, and I mean, there wasn't a point. Um, well, there was only like one point where I was like, oh gosh, okay, I'm over this right now, and that was probably when they had um like Snoop Dogg performing. I was
I
just
knew you were gonna say it. I knew it because that seems like such a mismatch for the audience watching.
yeah. I mean,
'Cause,
he's a gamer, I get
uh,
that, but we don't need, I don't know.
hey, he's probably gonna come next year with a game, because he said I don't have one yet.
Right.
There's probably gonna be someone hitting him up to make a Snoop Dogg game.
He's working on it. Yeah.
Because when he did his new song and they panned to the audience, that was a little cringy for me. Because a lot of those people they were not
Yeah.
into it.
They were not feeling it.
They were not feeling it.
Oh, also at the show they had Project Century and Virtual Fighter
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring those up.
from the Like a Dragon Yakuza team. And Project Century looked really good. At first, I thought it was like, oh, is this another slow cap game? Is this the slow cap game that they were talking? Because it looked kind of like Sifu with a lot of rain, and it looked really good, and it was like stylized, like, and it was just Project Century. I don't know. I think it takes place in like 1619, I think, or something like.
It's like 1915
Oh,
Japan.
1915 Japan. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's third person action game. I still think it looks like Yakuza, but this is supposed to be like a new franchise possibility.
Yeah.
So we'll wait on that. I see. Probably waiting a good amount of time on that. I don't think it looks bad, but I feel like we get a lot of these Yakuza like a Dragon games now. Like before, it was like we have to wait a couple years to get it. Now it's like instantly. He was like three more.
Right.
So,
Now it like sells well, so they're like, we're gonna put this out. We want one out every year.
but yeah, it does look like action. So it's not like the turn base where like the last two like a Dragon games were. So if you don't like the turn based stuff, maybe you can check this out whenever this comes out. It's gonna be a while because you know, they're working on a lot of stuff. So, and they already had their Virtual Fighter live stream, so you can check that out if you are a big fan of that series. Because it's been a hot minute since we got a new one of those as
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Um, what else? Did they have anything else that really um you had any
well. I
interest
mean,
in talking about?
okay, well, so like the Tekken 8 character, like
Oh
I
yeah.
saw some like I saw some rumors of or like maybe like hopes and dreams that was gonna be Tifa. So
Yeah.
like when they showed like Clive from like 16, because I just showed him first, and I was thinking, I was like, what could this be? Because like the game's already done, the DLC's done, the PC port is it's already happened.
Yeah, it's
So like
already out.
that actually threw me off a bit. It shouldn't have threw me off, but it threw me off. So he comes out like I think 2 or 3 days. He doesn't look too bad, but I was hoping for Tifa, so I was a little disappointed with that.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out that that is who it was. At first I thought I was like, "Oh, maybe they're going to give us like a Final Fantasy Muso game. That would be great."
Oh man, he would be kind of perfect for that too with his moveset.
Yeah. He would be, yeah. I would like love a Final Fantasy Muso game, and then I was like, oh, it's Tekken. Okay, that makes sense. And then I was like, oh no, it's not Tifa. And then I was like, well, I guess so. I mean, they added what's his name in there from
They added a Noctis before. I
Noctis
think
from
he,
15. Yeah,
yeah, I think he was like one, if not the best-selling DLC characters for the franchise of Tekken. Believe it or not. But
right. Which is funny because Final Fantasy is like selling worse than it ever has, and now and like the DLC of their character is like, the best selling in another game.
I know it's crazy how something can just fall off again, because a little bit of an identity crisis, I guess, and
Yeah.
people just latch on to different things at once. But like Clive himself doesn't look bad, and the little there's like an extended trailer for it. You can see like more fight stuff. He doesn't look bad, but like he's just not who I personally wanted. But I think it's kind of like a nice, funny surprise doing the show because it's something that shouldn't have thrown me off, but did. And then we got some other little things too. Like we got some co-op games that got announced. We got the new It Takes Two Studios game, the Split Fiction, I think.
Oh yeah, Split Fiction. Yeah, we got that one. Um, I mean, it looks like a game from that studio. It looks like it just game that requires multiplayer, requires you to play it. Um, it's already got a price and it also has a date. It's coming out
Yeah,
March 6th. It'll be here
yeah,
before you know it.
yeah. And this one seems to be more like semi-realistic style art style. You play as two story writers. One writes sci-fi, and then the other is like more like medieval fantasy. And you have to swap between like their worlds and stuff because they get like um they're trying to get like this deal with like this company or something, and like the company is trying to steal like all their stuff, and somehow they get like stuck into each other's stories, and they have to do a bunch of wacky shenanigans, I guess, to make it back. Because honestly, it just looks more like It Takes Two. There's like a lot of segments. It's like, oh, the dragons from this new one looks like, oh, the frogs and It Takes Two, and then you saw like some little like Metroid wall crawling mechanics, and there was like pigs that you can like cook and turn into sausage,
Yeah,
goofy stuff like that.
right. And this time they announced they got the Friends Pass, but it is um crossplay Friends Pass. So
Mm,
if you own it on PlayStation, your friend owns it, doesn't own it, but has a PC that could play it, then they can play on there, or they can play on the Xbox or PlayStation. And all they need to do is download that Friends Pass on whatever system they have, and they'll be able to play. This is, yeah, from Haze Light Studios. It's coming out March 6th, 2025, and EA is publishing it again. They're,
because EA is always publishing his games. Because he also did It Takes Two and a No Way Out. No Way
oh,
Out
yeah.
is a little different than these two because I feel like these two share a lot more DNA together. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was like little Easter eggs of his previous games in this one, because that's happened last time too,
Oh, yeah,
and I
that's
really
true.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's Split Fiction, and then we also got Stage Fright, which
Yeah, from
is
the Overcooked developers.
yeah, we got that one from the Overcooked devs. It looks like pretty cartoony and also very much like a game for the whole family to play and work together and do teamwork. Um, yeah, from the makers of Overcooked! Exclamation point. Comes an all new cooperative experience. Take your friend on an amazing adventure as you explore, solve escape rooms, overcome fiendish obstacles, and unravel an ancient mystery, for crying out loud. But yeah,
Yeah, because
coming
it's a
soon.
very unique take. Because I'm not sure if I really gel with this quite as yet. Because when you see like the actual game in motion, there's a split screen, but like both screens are like vastly different. Like one was like in the nighttime, and like one was like in the daytime, and there was like different things happening on each screen. But you're still playing together, and you're still working towards like the same goal. It's just I don't know if that's gonna be distracting to me. I like what happens if like the other person's screen is like more interesting.
Yeah.
Or if it's like maybe it will work together. I don't know. I'll probably try this in the future, but I'm not 100% on this yet. I think it's an interesting idea because it seems to be like an escape room inspired type thing with elements of Luigi's Mansion. And I do like those types of games.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so do I.
and,
We'll
and
s-
maybe, you won't yell at each other as much as playing Overcooked. Because I know we played Overcooked a little bit, and even then, we were kind of yelling as we were throwing and burning stuff. We got some food out, but,
Yeah,
Kevin was a harsh boss.
I know.
Harsh judge.
That's true. Tell me about it. I mean, we did our best.
We did.
We tried. We gave it our all. We left it out there on the kitchen floor.
Well, some on the kitchen floor, and then like some of the stages was like the hot air
Oh
balloon,
yeah,
and like
where we had to like go
swamp
back and
thing.
forth through the thing. Yeah.
So we were just throwing stuff off off the air. People are getting hit with like hamburger steaks or whatever.
Yeah.
Just ending up in the hospital.
Whatever we needed to get the job done, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There was, like I said, quite a bit at that Game Awards. You can go back, watch any of those trailers. I don't know how long Steam is going to have it up, but they have a Game Awards page where some of the games from the Game Awards are on sale right now.
Amazon has a similar thing as well if you're more into the physical aspect of buying games.
Yeah.
But it seems like Amazon stuff is more on the side of ones that got nominated versus like games from like similar
Reveals. Yeah.
developers. That type
Yeah,
of
that's
thing.
true. Yeah, because this will have like there's like a featured section which pretty much just had a bunch of the games that were announced, like Borderlands and Dying
Oh
Light,
yeah.
The Beast. They showed that trailer. Yeah, and then they also had like nominee titles on there with sale prices. Um, and yeah, but
Oh yeah. I did want to mention real quick because I know we talked about this in the past, just like a jokey kind of thing. But like in the pre-show, there was this one game. It was like unpacking a car, and you had to like,
mm,
you know, rearrange the back seat into like so you fit all the furniture and like moving away stuff, that type of thing.
right,
And I remember joking you about this. I was like, we shouldn't do that as a game.
yeah, yeah,
Just make like unpacking the car, and what do you know? One move away is exactly that. You're just unpacking this car and moving into a new home. So
right.
if you like
First, you got to
textures,
pack it. Like, take your stuff
yeah, you
from
gotta
your
pack it.
one class. I thought the name of this. So the name of the game is One Move Away. I thought the name of the game was going to be packing. It was going to be
Oh
like,
yeah, I thought it was another unpacking stuff. That's what
yeah,
I really thought. Just like unpacking 3D.
because they have like arms that almost look like something you would see, like it's like in first person. Then they got like the transparent, translucent arms that you can see through. I thought it was a VR game at first, but it does not seem to be. Yeah, it is. I mean, the Steam page even tells me similar games to Unpacking 2, and for some reason Slime Rancher 2. I don't know. I don't get the connection with that one, but we're trying here. We're doing our
Mhm.
best. Yeah, so it's like
Oh,
you got to pack up the whole car, and you can either do it messily or neatly. What
yeah.
were you going to say?
I'm just very upset because like we we had this idea years ago, and we
I
did
know.
nothing with it. We should just start doing something with this because that was our game. We
We got to
joked
start.
about it.
Yeah, I guess, I got to make that the game about the ocean specter before it's too late.
Oh yeah, yes, you should because that was a good one too.
We'll
Because
see
we,
how that.
we come we come up with some little gimmick stuff,
Yeah,
that could be fun.
gems.
And
We'll call them
I
gems.
yeah, and we should probably quickly mention Elden Ring announcement night too, because
Oh yeah, they did have
that was a big thing.
Elden Ring. I
Because
don't
it's
know
like
if you heard of this.
because Night Rank, I guess Night Range, co-op action spin-off, so that should be fun, if
Mm-hmm.
you really like the Elden Ring stuff. And
Yes.
you want to play with your buddies that's not just like summon them in like a fight. Because this seems like you're just fighting together like the entire way, it's like they're actually like in, your game, that type of thing. It kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter in a way.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It. I believe so. Before the Game Awards, I heard there was going to be a Monster Hunter like game from Software, and
Hmm.
I was like, that seems odd. And then they showed this game, and I was like, oh, parts of it seem like I could see why they said it was like a Monster Hunter like, but you can either play one player or three players. You can't play two players apparently.
Oh, okay. So you have to have a squad of 30.
And this is in the Elden Ring Night Rain. It is a standalone adventure in the Elden Ring universe. It's coming out next year. Um, yeah,
I know Press has been able to play it already, and they did make a big deal about it being a standalone, because this award show had a lot of talks about having DLC nominated for Game of the Year and such.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
for one game, don't have to worry about it. Owning another part of the game or having to go through a certain section of the game to access it. This is just brand new game. Fight with your buddies or fight alone, I guess.
Yeah. Um, I guess it's coming out next year. Um, I think there is like an open beta in January, maybe. So we'll see. Um, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there was a lot at the Game Awards. A lot of stuff I still am not sure about. Like I want to see more of. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, um, but there also was a couple of games I did play. Um,
Okay, so let's start off with that. That's usually the main part of the show. So
yeah,
sorry this week if you are more interested in that, but whenever we have like these big shows, we do like to touch upon them.
yeah, we'll talk about that, and then you know, there's I'll talk. I think there's like two games that I played quite a bit that I can talk about at length. Not that long about, but the first one is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now, when I played this game, it was when it was first announced. They showed it off, or when they first showed it off in the trailer, they were like, oh, they showed it in first person. I was like, oh, Mel's out.
Yeah, I'm out because I do like Indiana
Right.
Jones. I like the movies, the good ones,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Hmm. And yeah, so I will say, playing this game, I was like, oh, I hope it's good. I saw like the reviews. There's quite a few like eights and there's nines. I saw some people, like Danny O'Dwyer. He had said that it was like his favorite game of the year, right? That he played.
mm,
And I was like, oh, that's exciting. And so I was looking forward to it. And then I saw like Kind of Funny reviewed it, and I was like, oh, let me watch the review. And like Greg Miller gave it like a 6, and he was like, um, he just didn't like the combat, didn't like the AI, and he liked, you know, the. I gotta say, I I think I might agree with like Greg Miller.
oh my, really?
Yeah, so it reminds me of like it's like it feels like an immersive sim almost. It feels like when I'm running around in first person playing it. So Machine Games had previously made like the Wolfenstein games and stuff,
Mhm.
and this feels more like a Dishonored than those games. So you're running around, you're picking up weapons to like knock enemies out, and then you gotta like hide them and things like that. You're also going around trying to find like solve mysteries, and it does this cool thing. Well, I guess it's cool. It does this thing where when you pull up the map, it's like Indy actually holding a map and he's looking at it. Um, I will say the voice acting, Troy Baker does the voice of Indiana Jones, and he was previously like Joel in The Last of Us, and he's done quite a few voices. But playing like the opening section, there might have been like a scene from. Well, I don't want to give it away, but there's like stuff like when I was watching it, I just thought it was. It just didn't even seem like Troy. Like every once in a while, you would kind of like get a hint of his voice, but for the rest of the time, it just seemed like they got Harrison Ford to do the voice. It was really good.
Mhm.
Um,
And oh yeah, he was at the show last night too.
yeah,
He did
he was.
present like an
Yeah,
award. Yeah.
him, and then Harrison Ford was there. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, the in terms of the game itself, so there's like, okay, so you kind of like go to new locations, and then once you get to that location, it's kind of like an open zone. It's like, oh, you can move around in this area, and then go just talk to people and do your missions. One of my uh, that's a me thing where it's like one of my least favorite things about these games where um, th- there's like when they do the games um like an open zone, and they're like, just go and explore. I'm like, no, I want you to tell me where to go. So they do that where you can like track a certain mission, but then I got to a part where I had to buy a camera, right? And I didn't
Mhm.
have enough money. And so but then there was like no like missions in the area that I could go and get more money from. So I had just had to roam around until I found enough money to buy this camera. And I was like, I might just stop playing this game right now. But then I ended up playing it and playing it some more. And there are certain sections where I'm really like in the flow of it. Like um, the combat, not a big fan of it. Um, I do
So
like
what
just
exactly do you not like about it? Like, does it just like not feel like one to one, or do you just not like having like more focus, like whip action, sneak attack
hmm.
kind of thing?
Yeah, I kind of like how you can use the whip to like disarm enemies and do stuff like that. But I don't like just the hand-to-hand combat where it's like you're punching like I think it's like right triggers your right fist, left triggers your left fist, and then like the bumpers are like your block and parries and things like that. Plus then you got like a stamina bar. So like I'm in here like punching. If there's more than one enemy trying to fight me at the same time, it's like I'm punching and blocking, but then I got to get my stamina back up. But I can get my stamina up quicker if I eat an apple. So I'm like backing away from these enemies while I'm eating an apple to get my stamina back, and then I keep fighting them, and then I take them out. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it.
Uh,
But then like yeah, I like the aspect of it. Definitely does feel kind of like Dishonored or um oh gosh, I can't even remember the name of the other game, but because it's not even from Machine Games, it was um the one that was like exclusive to PlayStation where you're like going through the time portals. Anyway, um but yeah, it feels like that where you're like you need to like you can just kind of like I like the idea of being able to if when I did have a mission, there was like a so I needed to get money for um the camera, and I was annoyed because I was like, there's nothing around here that I can get, so I just kind of roamed around, looked around, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty nice. If only I had a camera, I could take a picture of it. But so then I just randomly walked into some random guy on the street. I saw him, talked to him. I got a mission from him to go save this kid. I say kid, he was like, maybe 18, some 17,
I mean,
and
it's still, yeah.
yeah, maybe 21 even. I don't know. But so he was like, "Can you help me get him?" And then I went to go through to try and get him. It told me where to go. It does that thing
Mhm.
where you look at the map, but so you can pull the map up and then keep walking while you're doing it, and it just shows you. You can use the maps accurate enough that I can use the map to navigate it while the map's up without having to put the map down and just keep going, because if you put the map down, it does one of those things where it shows the marker but only for so many seconds before it like kind of goes away until you get to it, you know. And so I just want to make sure I'm going the right way. And anyway, so I got through. There was like this one part I kept going through and then kept dying, and then I found another way that I could go, and it was so much easier, and I did that, and then I came back the other way, the way that I kept dying on. I came back that way, and because the enemies were like facing towards me when I tried to go in there, it was harder to get in, but it was easier to come out that way. So I was like, man, I don't want to get money to get this camera. I just might not even play. And then I played that part to get that one mission, and I found a bunch of money along the way, and like took out all these enemies, and like I was really enjoying that, and used like the whip to like take some guy's weapon away, and then just hit him in the head with a bottle. And yeah, that was fun. Um, and so I did that, and then there was another guy just sitting down eating. He's like, "Huh? What are you doing here?" And like hit him over the face with a broom. It was yeah, it was pretty fun. Uh so I did like that. I don't I like the picking up random weapons and objects along the way and just knocking people out with them, but I did not like the uh just that when I did get into a situation where I couldn't couldn't sneak my way out of it, I just didn't want to fight them. So what I did was I was being chased by like 8 guys, and I just like ran away from them and hid, and then eventually they were like, well, that was weird. I can't find them, and then they just left me alone, and I was like, okay, thanks, thank you very much. Um, and so that happened, and I did that, and I'll probably go back and play some more of it.
Mhm.
Um, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's on Game Pass right now. It's on Game Pass PC, Xbox, Xbox and PC Game Pass. It's coming to PlayStation in the spring, and it is also on Steam. I guess maybe Epic. I don't think they're on Epic actually. But yeah, um,
I mean, it might go over there
yeah.
eventually,
Who
you know.
knows? Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The game I might go back to. It's so many of these games that I talk about. I'm like, I don't beat them, but you know, I don't think I'll be
A
beating
good
Indiana
amount of
Jones. We'll
stuff,
see
you
what
know.
happens. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, and then was there a game you wanted to talk about, or you want me to talk about this second game?
I can go because this is probably be my only one for this time out. Because I've been playing some other stuff, but like I don't feel exactly comfortable enough to talk about it because I don't have
Oh yeah,
enough
you played a
time
little
to talk.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's the end of the year, so once again, trying to look back on some stuff maybe I missed this year or years prior to see if I want to get into it or like wish list this for holiday stuff. And this came out I think last month or maybe the month before, but Square Enix did another remake of something, shocker shocker.
Yeah.
But this time around, I tried Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. Because I'm gonna be honest, I never really played any of these Romancing Saga games. I just assumed they were just like more turn based JRPG stuff. And I feel like nowadays I'm completely tapped out on that particular gameplay style. Because it is
Oh
still
yeah.
turn based, but it actually does have different gameplay mechanics, and I actually really like them. You would hate this though, because there's like no actual levels for your team. You
Oh
guys,
yeah.
there's
One of my
no.
least favorite things about an RPG. You know.
Yeah, and it supposedly from what like I'm reading about, and like what I understand about it, it scales to how you actually progress in the game.
Mm.
So if you're just constantly grinding like these enemies in like the first like field or whatever, they're gonna like raise with you. So it's like you're never gonna be like one shotting a bunch of stuff at once. They're always gonna be like following along your progression path. And since there's no like levels for your actual guys, you still level up, but it's like your skills and like your weapons. So like the more time you use like a skill, like there's a better chance for you learning new moves as well. Because like sometimes when you're going down the list of selections for your move, there'll be like this little light bulb next to it, and it's like you have a chance of learning something else if you use this move this time,
Yeah.
and it's like only a
Okay.
chance. And this game actually does something really interesting with the team setup because they give you like a bunch of couches. Because like the demo I played was like I think like 2 dungeons, so nothing like really out there for like aesthetic wise. It's like pretty basic 2 dungeon stuff. Early dungeon design feel, and there's like treasure chest to collect, and you see all the enemies like on the map, so nothing's like completely random. So you can just go into it. And this style is done in 3D because like the old games like all 2D sprites and stuff like that. There is some, quality of life changes. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know which exactly they are because this is the only version I played. But you know, I feel like I should have played this one like sooner because I feel like I would be like a major fan of this because I do like how like each fight is like kind of semi important because like if you get like wiped out uh, in this game, your each character you play as has like a life meter, so like it goes down each time you fall. When you fall in battle, and once you get to zero, that character is just completely dead. So sometimes you have to like redo some of these fights if you're trying to save certain people, and that's like I like the permadeath stuff usually. So even in the demo, I had like this one fight I had to do like 3 or 4 times because just one of my people just kept going down way too fast, and I didn't want to lose any points because I don't know how long this game is. And the story itself, it seems interesting enough for something of that era.
Yeah.
Because there was like these 7 heroes, they saved something a long time ago, but they're popping up now, and it's like, oh, they're actually causing like mayhem and mischief, so you have to like defend and defeat them type of thing. And you collect a good amount of people, it looks like. And there's different team setups. You can do different formations. So, you know, you're not always just like in a straight line with your guys. You can just like have like one guy here and like one guy in the back line or whatever. And, it shows you who goes where in like attack modes and stuff like that. So I do like that. It does seem like it moves kind of fast, and it doesn't seem like it crawls to a pace when you're actually fighting. Because I'm fighting like everything on the map as of right now. I'm sure later on if I continue playing this, I'm not going to be doing that. But I do like the strategy aspect of this, and yeah, I think this is something a lot of people will miss out on because like who really honestly cares about Ruins and Saga? I didn't care about for this.
Right. Yeah.
So I probably get this when it goes on sale for a little bit because I am in some stuff right now that I'm pretty like knee deep into, so I don't want to like
Mhm.
tackle on something else. But
Right.
that sounds interesting. It does have a demo, so try it
Yeah.
out. It's a pretty hefty demo for what it is.
R-
I like it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. It is $49.99. The demo is on every platform, and the save carries over to the full game.
yeah,
Um,
because it's
and
Square Enix.
yeah, yeah, Square Enix loves doing that, and I love that they love doing that. But yeah, that's Romancing Saga 2. Um, Plus, I don't really love the look of it. Um,
I knew you were gonna like the older style and more. Because I think they do have Romance and Saga 2 still on like the base version. Well, maybe not the base version, but I think that's like the mobile version. That's also a
Yeah,
selection, you
yeah,
know. But
and that's like pixelated and
yeah, it's like the spy pixelated stuff.
yeah,
So if you like that kind of look more, it might not have some of this quality of life stuff in the 3D remake. So
yeah,
but like the main game itself should probably be the same uh, type of thing. So just keep that in mind.
yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, the reviews for it are overwhelmingly positive on Steam with almost nearly 2,000 reviews. So that's, you know, take that for
That's
what
pretty
you
good,
will.
yeah.
Yeah. Um but yeah, that's Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. The other game that I've been playing a lot, turns out quite a bit, quite more than I anticipated. I was like, I'm going to play it a little bit. I played it a lot of bit. That was Marvel Rivals.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, and this I was like, Mel, it's like Overwatch, but in third person instead of
I
first.
know, because this is why I hadn't had a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Because I actually got caught up watching people play this. Because I think it looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is quite a bit of fun. There's so okay, so Marvel Rivals, it's a team-based, character-based shooter, multiplayer shooter where it's like you're not playing like well, there is one game mode that's like team deathmatch, and it's like whoever gets to 50 kills first wins. But then there's also like teams like where you got to like defend a point. There will be like a King of the Hill, right? There will be a
Yeah.
section in the middle of the map. It Everyone has 30 seconds to get there, and then after that 30 seconds it unlocks, and then you stand inside of it. You got to make sure your team's standing in it with no one else in it, and then the clock goes up to 100. You got to get up to 100%, and then they wait you if they kill you and then get in there, they take it over, and then their clock starts going up, and then so they got that, plus they got defend and attack, which is like uh you're defending a little, like, I guess, I mean, at least in Overwatch you call it a payload, like it's basically like a vehicle of some kind that is moving from point A to point B, and as long as the attacking team is standing next to it, it will keep moving, and then when the if the attacking team is there and the defending team is there, it will still move. Or no, it stops if they're both there, and then it's like, oh, this is contested area. You need to get rid of one or the other, and then if
Yeah.
the the defending team has it, they whoop, it starts going backwards and up to a certain point, because there's like certain checkpoints, and then once you hit a checkpoint, even if they get it to go backwards, it's not going to go any further than that checkpoint that you hit.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
so
there's like two major checkpoints for these real cool maps that I saw.
right, yeah.
It's like one's like a Spider Bot, and then like one's like I guess it's like a Black Panther
Oh, it's like
kind
a
of
chariot, and there's
yeah, it's
yeah,
like a chariot. They
yeah,
look pretty cool.
yeah, and so there's that, and then, but then I think the star of the show is all the characters. It's tons of Marvel characters. With it being
Yeah,
the multiverse, like that's they have all the different costumes and for the characters. I mean they
and
got
like I really like before the match starts, like certain ones will like talk to each other, and they do like these little soundbite lines
yeah,
from references of like their comics and stuff. Because
right,
I don't know comics, but I still enjoy that because
right,
it's
yeah.
interesting enough to me.
They'll be doing like deep cuts, and then I know, like, if I was the Punisher one time, and I think I was like there with like Doctor Strange or somebody, and I killed somebody, and I just kept shooting in their direction after I killed him, and he's like, all right, enough, Frank. You killed him. You took him out. You did enough. Something like that. And just the way they talk to each other. Um,
Yeah, like I think in some of the death cutaway lines too, I like that too. Because I think like Scarlet Scarlet Witch, like when she kills like Wolverine, she's like, when I talk about getting rid of the mutants, it's like I meant you know, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just
Right, yeah. It's like references that you would get that especially like they will reference some obscure comic book that they were in together like, 20 years ago or something. Then you got like Squirrel Girl, Venom Storm, all sorts of different characters in there, and they all have different abilities, and they got like healers, they got vanguards, which is like their version of the tanks, and then yeah,
yeah,
it's just they got like all these different characters, 33, and
there's a lot of them.
of
You know,
course there's like six I think that are data mined so far, and yeah, um,
ooh,
so
I do like how certain characters, like if they're on the same squad, they get like an extra little perk. Because
yeah,
like Groot and like Jeff, you know, like Jeff can go like on Groot's shoulder and like attack like that. I think that's pretty neat. Because sometimes
right.
you see like people change to that kind of perk, like after they die from like another character. Because you're not like locked in from like one character from the get go
Oh
from
yeah,
the
you
pegs. Because
can
some
you
of those
can
TV
pick
stuff
in
you are.
between deaths. Like every time you die, if you want, you can switch, but each character has an ultimate, and so if you switch, it like resets your ultimate. If you get to 100% and then switch it, you'll lose half of your ultimate. So it's like they try to incentivize you to stick to the one character, but yeah, there are a lot of times where you'll play and I'll start up a match and I'll pick my character right away. I'll be like the Hulk or something, right? And then I'll look around and notice, pull up the player, and nobody is being a healer, and so I'll just switch to a healer because somebody needs a heal.
Uh, I see that situation happen so much now because you know this came out like over a week ago and it wasn't like that bad the first couple of days, but now I'm starting to see like it's like that like nonstop. It's like no healer, no tanks. The
Right? People
the
just
duelist can't kill. You know, I'm seeing a lot of that unfortunate stuff happen because like there is like a quick play match and I think there is a rank if not coming soon or
yeah, there
like
is
is
rank.
there?
You got to get to like level 5, I think, to get unlock ranked. So once you get to level 5, you can unlock ranked play. And
But,
then there's
but
like,
you know But you know, even in rank, that problem's gonna still persist. You know,
yeah,
just certain people just want to play as certain characters. You know.
right. I always found myself to do much better when I'm playing with like my friends that are all communicating as opposed to playing just quick matches. But
Yeah, because you know you can turn on the voice chat if you want, but you
right,
know how that goes with these types of games.
it goes, yeah, marvelously. Yeah, exactly. Um, but this game I ended up sinking quite a bit of time into this week and playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Um,
I knew that was gonna happen to you. Like even myself, I still kind of want to try this out. I just have to wait a little bit to see, you know, that type of thing. But I'm not like you with the knowledge of these characters because I remember like in someone's chat I was just like, who are like half of these people? And I was getting like these essays thrown at me. I was like, dude, I never heard of Cloak and Dagger in my life.
oh yeah,
I'm getting like the knowledge history of like everything about them. But they are kind of cool because like you can switch to her and she like does like the healing stuff and then he's like more like a
the
gaudy tanky kind
DPS,
of
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So
It's pretty neat, yeah, being able to switch between that and then I've been playing quite a bit as Spider-Man and like doing swinging in real fast, shooting someone with my web. You basically want to shoot them with the web to get them sticky, and then once you shoot them with the web, your next attack will do double damage. So, like, you want to swing in, shoot them with the web, then there's like the there's a web shooter where you shoot your web at him, and it will pull the enemy towards you. But if you shoot them with the web first and then pull them towards you, instead you do a dive kick and attack them. And so you go in, sh- swing near them, and while in the air, shoot them from above, and then pull yourself in, do the kick, then push the one button to do an uppercut, and then you got to get out of there because he hardly has any health. And if you just try and sit there and battle them, you're going to get killed. But you're constantly moving as Spider-Man. I found this move that will work sometimes, but sometimes I screw myself over, and it is you go off the ledge of the map, right? Jump,
Mhm.
swing off the ledge, then do the pull when you pull an enemy towards you, and then they fall off the map. But then you got to do it fast enough that you pull yourself, web yourself back. But if you don't have a surface to web onto, it doesn't always work. It's yeah, but it is a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of Hulk, a lot of Spider-Man. I really am enjoying Wolverine and
Okay.
um, Jeff, the land shark. I like Jeff.
I think uh, Jeff is one of those things. It's like you either really love him or you hate him, because like probably like some of the first clips, like goofy, funny clips you see of this game is just like Jeff's doing his like ultimate, and he's just eating people, and then
Yeah,
he's just throwing them off the land,
right.
side
Yeah,
of the stage. They all die.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
People.
I've seen some stuff with Doctor Strange, his portals too, like be insanely wacky. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So I did that where I snuck around to where their spawn was, and then I put the portal right there, right
Mhm.
in front of their spawn, and then put the other portal on uh off the ledge of the map, so that then like the whole team ran out thinking their doc because they had a Doctor Strange, so they think their Doctor Strange put it there. Even their Doctor Strange ran through it. He he they all ran through it and then all fell off the side of the map and died. I think
Yeah, because
everyone but Spider-Man, because Spider-Man like swung out, or Iron Man flew or something like that. But
yeah,
yeah.
because you have to be careful with those portals, because like the enemy can use them. Because I seen like with some of like the payload ones where they'll do like a portal at the start and a portal at the payload, but like the enemies are coming through the payload, so you're just getting swarmed by like six different people, like, on the opposite side. So you gotta really think about it before you land some of this stuff.
Right.
But a lot of these kills, can be hilarious. Like the Hulk just like slamming like somebody like back and forth. That's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
funny.
and that's from the one movie. He did that in the
Yeah, that's
movie.
from the Avengers movie.
Yeah, where he did it
I don't
to
know which one,
Loki.
but one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was just Avengers. But yeah, so then that happened, right? So there was that, but then there's also another one where I got the portal up high, and then put the other portal at our base, and then it was like above where the thing that we're attacking is, and their whole team was there defending it. And we had Iron Man, and he had his ultimate. He shot his ultimate through the portal, and then it went through and landed in the middle of the location and killed the whole team. And then we all just jumped through the portal and landed on the thing and took over the space. So like stuff like that, like good teamwork. Like even when I wasn't talking to people, they knew what to do. And yeah, it is quite a bit of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm
Yeah.
going to
It's,
be playing it again some more
I'm
tonight,
sure you will.
and probably when we get off.
Uh,
It says on here. I mean, maybe this is accurate. Maybe it isn't. We don't know. I when did I get that? Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know. I almost don't even want to say. I got it. I think Tuesday. I got it. Um, but I ended up so far. It says I've played 27 hours of
oh my
Marvel
gosh.
Rivals.
27 hours. That's a lot, because this one is free to play, and it has all the characters, so you don't have to buy anyone. And you can earn like the currency, I guess, to buy like the costumes and like the battle pass or whatever. So
Yeah, there's like just random missions, and you can do the missions to get them, and then yeah. But I've been playing, like I just said, quite a
oh
bit
yeah,
of
yeah,
Marvel
yeah,
Rivals.
over a day already in this game.
Yeah, I know.
But
But
it,
I did
it
the same
does look
thing
super
when
fun though.
Overwatch came out. When Overwatch came out, I played way too much Overwatch. I mean, I feel like this is how I am when I really like a game. I'll play it tons.
Hmm.
Uh, like I said earlier, the Naughty Dog games. When the new Naughty Dog games come out, I play through them quite quickly. Um, yeah, and I'll go through those. But then I'm just, I just am quite enjoying the game. We'll see, because I mean, maybe next week I'll be like, so since then I'm only at like 35 hours. You know, who
That's
knows?
still pretty good. You know, that's like
Hmm. Yeah,
still a day worth of a game time I got into.
yeah,
And
but yeah.
this is one of
So
those games
that's
where they're
why.
gonna be
Uh,
adding characters and stages, I'm sure. And you know, it's always gonna be like some big announcement. It's like, oh, this guy is in the game now. You know, because there's a lot of like Marvel people to still draw from to put in this
yeah,
game. You know,
yep.
because to me, like a good amount of these guys, I wouldn't really consider like super A class, well known type of thing. You know, but they're still fun. You know, and I'll probably try it one day. You know, because I do like these types of style games. It's just the problem with these type of style games is you do have to play with people who actually know what they're doing. Because I lose a lot more patience now than I did in previous years. So.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, and I feel like some of these characters they kind of so the microtransactions are all cosmetics, like skins, uh, the
Yeah,
way
you
they
can fix Wolverine's costume because
yeah,
I don't like
because
his
he's got
jacket.
that jacket, and then yeah,
I don't like the jacket.
but they do the similar thing with like Magneto. Magneto's default skin isn't even like the red from the comics or the
Yeah, that's intentional.
X-Men.
They want you to,
Yeah,
they want you to buy that
and
one.
then they got Thor, but it's old man Thor. It's like old Thor,
Yeah,
and
I didn't even know that was him at first until like I saw like the lightning and stuff, and I was
yeah,
like, oh, okay.
yeah, and so they have that, and they just released today, I think, on the store, um, Iron Man or Thor from the cartoon, or not the cartoon, from the movie Love and Thunder. It's
Oh,
like that version of it. So they got the movie version of Thor. In there. And then when they sell you the skin, they also sell you like a new intro, right? So you got the intro like for your victory win, and then
hmm.
you got like an emote from the movie, and then you also have like um a spray. With the spray is like you can just put it on any surface. But the spray for that Thor Love and Thunder one I was telling about is just like a stylized version of the movie poster. So it's like uh, you're basically paying to advertise.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah, that I've been playing that. But yeah, there's other stuff I plan on playing. I just haven't gotten around to because I've been so sucked up in that. But I did get
It's easy to because it's like those rounds don't go too long. For the most part, at least.
right.
They can go kind of fast, and you can just like, oh, one more, just one more. Or like if you're like me, it's like you have to end or to win. You don't want to end on a
You don't
loss.
want to end on a loss. No, who wants to do that?
No.
Yeah. And so I understand that completely. And so yeah, so there's um that I've been playing. I was also playing like Spider-Man 2, and then I downloaded the the demo for Dynasty Warriors Origins, but I'll talk about that next week. Yeah. Um
That sounds good, man.
pretty good. I mean, we spent most of the episode talking about the Game Awards, but I mean,
Yeah, there
that
were just so many announcements.
yeah, that happens that we do that. I was like, it's not going to be that long of a show, I don't think, because we didn't have that many games that we played. And then we spent like an hour talking about the Game Awards. But yeah, that was fun. Mel, where can people find you?
On the Twitter,
Do you want people to find you?
I mean, they can find me, but I haven't really been posting much stuff lately. Because, like I
Yeah.
said, just posting those clips now is just too cumbersome for me.
Oh, yeah. You got to
Like you
send
gotta
it to
like
your
put it to your phone.
phone, and then
I don't know if I want to do all that. But every now and then I'll probably post something.
yeah, exactly. Um, And then we got the um you can find me on Super Nintendo, pretty much everything. Also do Nintendo Rewind podcast. There's that.
Yeah,
Um,
every Tuesday for that one.
every
We'll watch it
Tuesday
live, you know,
you can
because you gotta
watch
do
it
it
live.
live.
Yeah, watch it live and get mad at us live. And then yeah, we talk about Nintendo. Hopefully Nintendo has some stuff to talk about soon because it's quite
You
dry
know,
in the Nintendo news.
yeah, I know we have an easier time over here because we can literally just pick
Talk
whatever.
about anything, yeah. Where I think like the next week we're gonna be talking about the Nintendo. Like there was like I don't think hardly any games that were announced are coming to the Switch except for that AI cat game.
It was like the cat game. There was like
Oh,
two other
Ninja
little
Gaiden,
things.
I think maybe.
The Shadow Labyrinth thing, you know, I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was and then I think they did like
maybe the
a bumper teaser of like you know, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, you know, buy it, you know. I don't think they did anything else
yeah no.
Nintendo
I
wise,
mean they
you know.
showed Civilization 7. That's about it. Yeah,
Oh
not
yeah,
much.
that's gonna be their day one, I think,
Also,
this
shout
time
out to
around.
Rolos. I had some I had to put the Rolos away because I had Rolos and I was just like eating them, not even thinking about it. And then I was like, I've eaten way too many Rolos. But yeah, I haven't had Rolos in ages. But yeah, I um am. This has been episode 7 of Games to Discover. Thanks for listening. Doodaloo.
So yeah.